Right, good evening everyone. Welcome to Sunday night 8 o'clock with Hilly, and that means that it's HRF1 Sunday night division, and we are at, as you can see, Spain. It's a short qualifying 50% race at Spain. I love these Sunday night races and I love Spain, so I think this is going to be a superb race. I really hope it is. 15 at the moment. I'm sure there's still more to come, so it's in close to a full grid tonight. Now, we are going to invite in the Lungus and... Where is he? There he is, X11. Couldn't see his name then. Let's get these two in. Evening, Massey. Hope you're well, buddy. Here's X11. And here's Lungus. Excellent. Hello, guys. Hello. Hello. Make sure you've included your audio, please, guys. Okay.
Include my audio. It's that.
Yeah.
Again on the box, but on the bottom on screen it's right not included, so I don't know how it works.
Go to your Xbox menu.
Yeah.
And on the your party tab, so parties and chats, just click on the party, and you should have a little checkbox at the top.
I know, I did that, but
you did that?
The Xbox show, yes, I did. The Xbox show, it's not included. Oh, okay. It's work or not? I hope it's all good.
Okay, Massey or anybody out there, can you guys hear? You can hear him. Okay, Taguna says they can hear you. Excellent.
Yes.
Lovely.
Okay.
Excellent. Right. Well, welcome, guys, and thank you for jumping in sort of last second because Hilly forgot about it.
No problem.
To ask anyone, so thank you for doing this. Just quickly, we'll go on to the game in a moment, but I just want to ask you quickly. Start of the season, I tipped you guys as one of the potential winners for the constructors. You are doing well. Just need to push on a little bit. Do you think you could still do that? Do you think you could still win it this season?
It's small chance, but we need to take out Astons in this race.
Because other way we have no choice. It's a hard track for both of us. So.
Oh, right. Okay.
I haven't ever finished Spain in any league I drew in.
Oh, really? It's strange how we all find different tracks difficult and that. This is one of my favourites that I find quite easy, but you know, there's other tracks that other people find easy and I find hard. So it's strange how we all have different ones. But yeah, okay. And I don't want to be taking you too far into qualifying, so I really just kind of I've gotten to really quite like the game that I've been doing. So I don't say I've. Oh no, I think I've deleted it. Don't do that. Oh, hang on. I'll ask you another question because I've accidentally deleted the thing that I had with all the podiums on. Right. Okay. Out of the two of you, then I've got to ask who is the number one driver in the team.
The one who's standing more in top in the championship before the race.
Right.
So,
okay, and is there team instruction? Do you have like team sort of orders?
Yes.
You do.
My today order, since Walling is the second in the championship, my team order today is to take out Massey.
Don't actually say that. You can't say that out loud.
I have too much problem with this, and now you see my plan. So
I think since he's quite fast, I have shot only on a first corner. So watch out, Massey.
Keep joking.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sure he is. Yeah, of course. You watch. We'll see. If it actually happens now, you're going to be in so much trouble. You realise.
I know, but I'm just kidding.
I know. Okay. Oh, this is getting on my nerves now. Of course, now I can't find the bloody thing. Oh, I really want to do the game. Please come up. Right. Just a second.
Hmm.
Too particular there. Right, I can't believe I accidentally deleted it and now I can't find it again. It's getting on my nerves. Derelict Rescue. 2020 to 21 anyway. Close out. Close out. Yeah. Sounds interesting, that. Oh, come on. Election rate. Taking it. Blowing up history. What's that there? Stop here. Just a second. Sorry about this. You will
Don't worry.
Alright, actually, I'm going to do a different game with you. It's, well, same game, but different information, okay? So, what I'm going to ask you, I'm going to name a driver, and I want to tell you how many race starts they had before they finally won a race. Okay? So it's similar to the podium one, it's just a different stat, basically. Quite simply, because I've managed to find it, and it's already 8 o'clock, so... right, okay. The first driver, then, is a British driver, and it is Jenson Button. So, let's say X11, if you go first, how many races do you think it took Jenson Button to win his first race?
I would say 26.
26, okay. Valungis?
My guess is, I don't know, 19.
Okay. The point then goes to X11 with 26, even though it was actually his 115th race. So quite a way out. But,
Okay.
Excellent. Okay. Then let's go to. So we've done a British driver. Let's have a Brazilian driver. And Rubens Barrichello. How many races until he won his first ever race? Sorry, let's go
starting?
other way round. So let's go Valungis first on this one.
73.
73.
73, yes.
Okay.
Another guess. No.
I would say it would be 74.
74. That's so mean. And once again, X11 wins the point. We got one over. That's just mean. 125 races for Rubens Barrichello. So yeah, it's high again. I'll give you a clue on this last one, Valungis, because they're all really high. Okay, because I've only got the top 10. So they're all high. So we're going to go with a current driver. X11, you'll be first on this one. Just say to me, do you want Ferrari or Red Bull?
Ferrari.
Ferrari. So it's Carlos Sainz Jr. How many races did he compete before winning his first race?
106.
What was that? Sorry,
106.
106. Okay, and Valungis?
About Carlos Sainz, yeah?
Yeah, Carlos Sainz, yeah.
112.
112, okay. again, you're both well under, but Volungus takes a point on this one, so it's going to be 2-1. And it was his 151st race that you won,
Oh,
which was the 22 British Grand Prix. So yeah, there we go. That's quite interesting, that one. Similar, as I say, similar to the podiums. I'd like to get a longer list of that. But yeah, the driver who went the longest was most recent, actually, was Sergio Perez. He was 194. But most of the drivers are on here are pretty recent drivers, apart from number 10, who's a guy called Thierry Boustin. He was a Belgian driver who won a 1989 Canadian Grand Prix on his 96th race. Don't know who he is. There you go. So there we go. But anyway, yeah, well done then. Excellent. I think that gives you rights tonight to be the number one driver. I think that's fair. All right, guys. Well, again, I want to say thank you very much for coming and joining me at short notice. I'm sorry that we didn't get to do the podium one because I misplaced it somewhere. I'll have to find it before next week. But yeah, thanks very much for coming and joining me. I'll let you get into quali now because it's a minute and a half in already. So
Okay, you're welcome.
guys, go on. Good luck, and never know, I might speak to one or both of you at the end. If
Okay, see you.
Thanks,
Okay.
guys. Bye.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, that was our two Lithuanians, our Lithuanian team, X11 and Volungus. Not our only two Lithuanians, we have more, but there we go. Can hear a bit, it's a bit crackly. Oh, wet race! I'm hearing Daguna say. Wow, okay, let's get to our driver who was first out on track. Anyway, in the Williams, it was Coxey. So, let's see, we're up to 18 now. I don't know if we've got anybody else joining during qualifying, but 18 a good number in a way. Really glad with that. Hope you guys enjoyed that little game, considering it was just quickly put together at the end because I couldn't find the podiums list. Let's find that list. I've been deliberately keeping it. I must have accidentally deleted it, probably when I meant to delete something else. Right, Coxey down to turn 1. I wasn't quite quick enough to do the daily hot lap, so we'll do that a bit later on. So, just a heads up, I am still suffering from this cold that I've had. It seems to have come back a bit worse today. I wasn't too bad yesterday. But it's not bad, it's just I'm still a bit stuffy, so if I sound a bit weird, that's why. See then, decent map so far. Quite a long time since I did Spain myself, so I'm a bit rusty on the track myself, but it's been a regular on the F1 calendar the whole time I've been watching Formula 1, which is the very early 90s, so on the whole time. I guess the late the chicane that we're just coming up to, this left-right chicane, is to be removed. So for next year's game, that will just be a right-hander, a big right-hander that leads onto the straight, which is what it used to be many years ago. I quite like that chicane. I think it's a really good challenging chicane, but no, most people don't. So there we go. But Coxey starts us off with an 18.4. There's a Ferrari about to cross the line if I could find them. That's Hunter with an 18.0. It's a McLaren. Who's that? That's Chris, who clearly doesn't like Spain, going by his comment in the chat earlier on. And it's race day, yay, even though it is Spain. So, there we go. Massey starts off with a 17.6, an 18.2 from Bowden. Craig with an 18.6. The other McLaren now of Ronaldo is on his way around the final corner. 121.6. Who's this? That's X11 on an outlap. Junkie Emperor just heading over the line, 19.1. Puts him at P8 for the moment. What else we got? Chardinho is heading through the chicane. And at the final corner, DRSO. Oh, he must have had a little moment or something during the lap there. Monsters head to the line, 119.1. It's Lycorius. Had a great form recently, is Lycorius. See if he can continue tonight. Goes into P7, so it's a good start. And is that the Ferrari that we... That's Hunter, so he's already crossed the line. So who else we've got? Gaza. I forgot Gaza was in this league. Let's see if we've got Gaza out there. 119.1. He through the end of sector 2. Aston Martin got well out of the way for them. After there, he's just heading for the line, and that is Volungis has gone into P6 on an 18.4. Rookie will be next. HRF1-17.7. So he's closest to Massey. Oh, it's X11, I think, jumps up somewhere yet to P11. Bartas back into the pits by the looks of it, or just still in the pits, I think. There we go. Don't think anybody else is on an actual lap at the moment. I think that's everybody on in laps. Right, so it's pretty close on sector 1. Oh, Chardinho. No, he finished another lap as well, so 19.8 from him. For some Spain, a wet Spain. Indeed, Chris. Well, it's for you, mate. I love it. I love Spain. Absolutely love the track. I think it's even better this year with the changes they made on it. But I'm personally not looking forward to the removal of the chicane. I happen to like that chicane, but I know why they're doing it, and I get it will aid to more overtaking opportunities with an even longer straight. As I say, everybody was on in laps, so we didn't have anybody on a hot lap to watch there. Who else we got then? Bowden's on an out lap, Coxey's on an out lap. He's on an in lap, Chris is on an out lap. So Coxey was actually first on track, and he's first to be out for his second run as well, so let's do the hilly hot lap with him. Okay, Massey. So Massey thinks it dries up halfway through. That's going to make it interesting for setup selection and that. Here he comes then. So DRS opens and we head down the long pit straight as Bartas retires out the session in the pits. So he's going to start from the back. It's down to turn 1, 2 and 3, which is kind of like a giant, massive S-bend. You've got to keep the power in. He will have needed to lift slightly there as we head to the end of sector 1. And yeah, you can see he's lost a bit of time because of that. Late braking into turn 4 with a decent exit. It's all about the exit everywhere around here, through the hairpin then under the Rolex bridge and down to this quite unique left-right. And oh, that'll be the sausage curb. Don't like you doing that. So everyone's on like that. Right, let's just come through that bit. Now we head into the fast right-hander. He needs to be taken out pretty much flat out. Should just be a gentle lift. Oh, that's a full lift. He's backed out the lap just as we go to him. Why have you done that? Ah. Chris then. It's this newer part of the track, so sort of double left-hander and then heads into the same right that's always been there. Open up the steering, get onto the curb, use the green part of the curb to open up the entrance to the right-hander and then into the slow, it's flowing chicane. And the final corner, just be a bit careful on it's quite low on traction around the final corner, so just be careful not to spin it. And Chris, nice lap, 18.1, goes into P5. Then to the current provisional pole sitter. Through the left right, as you notice, uses the right hand curve but doesn't touch the sausage curb like we saw with Proxy. That's this track. I don't think there's any particular right way to take that, but I like to attack it right quite wide on the exit, but not too wide because it will invalidate you. And then hook it back in, keeping it to the left, ready to open into the right-hander. Generally, it's similar to Ace or Massey Ticket, not really any difference to how I would do it either. And we head over the line, improves his provisional pole time to a 17.4. We'll be honest, the most recent races I've done here, the pole position time has been in the 16s, but I'm not expecting that tonight. Particularly if we're expecting rain in the race, because they may well have set up differently, so they won't have the absolute fastest setups possible on. As Whoopi returns into the pits, how's his teammate getting on? He's driving slowly, so not good there either. Maybe one of the drivers that we've just spoken to then in the interviews, so got a slow car there getting off track. Not really the most ideal of places. DRS section here. It's a bit short, the DRS section there, so it doesn't often lead to an overtaking opportunity. But we might get one in the race there. It's almost all the overtaking is done on the pit straight here. It's turn 1. Despite the fact that it's being... there's Volungus returns to the pits as well. Difficult. While we were watching Volungus, Chardino went fastest on a 17.4 as well. Let's go to Fatal. No, he's not improving. Monsters is invalidated. What about Ronaldo? Oh, he's into the pits. Is anybody not going to go into the pits when I go on to him? Peter is driving slowly again, so really made a mistake somewhere. Legolius. Legolius. I like to say his name like I'm saying Mario. Legolius. Mario. Legolius. I can't help it. That's it. I'm forever going to say that name. Anyway, here he comes over the line to start his next run. Flat out right hand there. That is the way you want to take it. He keeps it nice and tight into the right. So basically there's a difference there between qualifying and race. So in qualifying you want to keep it as close to the inside of that flat out right as you possibly can. And it will gain you a bit of time, actually about half a tenth, so it is worth doing it. But of course it does take a lot out of the tyres to do that, so it's not something you want to be doing throughout the race because it will hurt. So Glorious picks up. So I think in doing so, I think it looked to me like it confused the driver ahead of him slightly, although that was Lycorius's are other Lithuanian on the track, and I think they are all in a party chat normally, so I suspect they did know what they were doing. The drivers in other teams, I don't know. Anything about that in the rules, Daguna? 18.5. So a slight improvement from Lycorius, so about a tenth. Here's P12. Base P12. X11 was the Alpha driver that it just gave Lycorius the tow. Yellow flag bucket, that's down on the pit straight somewhere. Fabinho has retired in the pits. And his time, so I can only assume doesn't feel he can go any faster, so it's kind of like he said to Massey, if you could beat that then pole's yours, but I can't go any faster myself. Decent steady lap here. Oh, just as I say that, X11 just only just invalidates that lap. Very, very tight, but does invalidate. Stay P15 at the moment. Enough time to come in and get out again, so not panic stations just yet. And Gaza to start a lap, so let's go with Gaza. So PB at the moment 17.866. In order to... Oh, driver's just gone up ahead of him. Who was that? That was Hunter has just crossed... Was it? No, it's Volungus. My apologies. Volungus has just crossed the line to a 17.5 and goes into P3. That's a 3/4 of a tenth up in sector 1. To gain the place on this lap, he needs to find 0.107 to get ahead of Whoopi. Also, we'll be looking to gain as much as possible. Get into the fast left-right. I've actually got to call it a chicane. I guess it is a chicane. It's not a standard chicane, but a bit different. Slightly down actually from sector 2, so lost a bit of time as Massey goes quickest and presumably takes pole. Guaranteed yet, Whoopi is on an out lap, so he's still up there. Nicely done through the chicane there from Gaza as Face of Defiance retires out in the pits. Opens up the DRS, heads to the line, and oh, doesn't quite improve. So close to an improvement, but not quite. So he'll remain P6 at the moment. I think we should probably go to Whoopi for his lap because this is probably going to be our best challenge for a pole. Chris retires from the session. JC, just you can't help but go out slightly on that right-hander because it just naturally drags you out. In time trial, you'll probably be able to take it pretty much right on the inside, but it's a bit different. Of course, in a qualifying session, your tyres won't be at the perfect temperature like they are in time trial. Decent first sector. Oh no, that's that's so unlucky. He's so close to being perfect through there, but I don't know whether he didn't lift enough or whether he just got on the power a bit too quickly, but it just sent him a little bit wide, which caught the curb, and the car didn't like it, so got thrown across the track. Go to Adeguna's moved up into P5 on a 17.6. Who's the driver just heading around the final corner? That's Bowden, who's slightly up and improves to a 17.8 by 4 tenths. So he goes ahead of Gaza into P7. Craig into the pits. So is that it? I think it is. Daguna and Whoopi into the pits as well. It's a shame that we didn't get to see exactly where Whoopi could have ended up there, because he'd done a good first sector, and that second sector up to that point was looking good to me. So it would have been good to see exactly where he could have got, but nevertheless, it does mean that Hunter this week is the top Ferrari qualifier. Qualifies P4, very nice lap from him. The top 8 covered by half a second. So nice and tight. The top 8 covered by half a second. The next 6 covered by another half a second. So there you go. Not bad, is it? Top sort of 12 covered by 1 second. Top 13 just over a second. So it's nice and tight for a Sunday evening. Just how we like it. But it is Massey then who takes pole position for Mercedes. Chardinho P2. I'm sure they're going to be close. The weather, it sounds like it's going to play a big part in this race, so we'll see how that goes. Volungis in P3, Hunter P4, Daguna 5, Whoopi 6, Bowden 7, Gaza 8, Chris in 9, Craig in 10, Coxie 11, Junkie Emperor in 12, Lycorius in 13, Fatal Defiance 14, X11 in 15, Monster 16, Ronaldo 17, and Bartas, who didn't set a time. I don't know if he got a qualifying ban or something, or just wanted to start from the back of the grid, but P18 for him. And there's the instance. They're all on one page. There's no more. So I don't think that's really needed, but just in case for the stewards. Yeah, nice tight grid that, Daguna. Right, any drivers listening to me, don't forget, do not ready up. There will be a break. It's absolutely pissing down with rain. Let me go get a coffee, put my coat on, get an umbrella, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, guys, back with you. So, what to expect? Well, we're going on to full wet. Now, Massey, it wasn't mentioned by the others, but Massey sort of thinks that we're going to move to dry a bit later in the race. It's about halfway through dry up. Whether it actually gets to dries halfway through or whether it starts drying up halfway through and gets to slicks towards the end, we'll see. But at the moment, this is really heavy. This is definitely full wet weather tyres. So this is the moment where somebody who didn't look at the forecast goes, "Oh no, what have I done? I put 2-4 wings on." I'm glad it's going to be a weather change. Sometimes when if it's full wet and it just stays full wet, that can ruin races slightly because it's extremely difficult to overtake without DRS. So, but when there's weather changes going on and people do different strategies and different setups, And then, of course, you've got the DRS effect later in the race. That can do the opposite way round. In fact, I've just commentated a race. We're really low on numbers, and I was a bit like, is there any point in commentating this? Because we had such bad numbers for the race, for wheel spin. But the race was absolutely brilliant, and I think that was largely down to the weather changes. Getting them all nice and close together, and the strategies were incredible, how different they were. So at the moment, full wet, if it is a full wet race all the way through, which we're not expecting, but if it is, then... Oh, Jardinho. Well, that's disqualified for Lungus. He's going to be fuming. He's going to be fuming about that. He doesn't get to heat his tyres up now. So... there's a few disqualifications going on. Craig, Coxey, Fatal, Monsters, all as well as Lungus been disqualified. So, yeah, as you saw there from the stop strategy, it's not going to be a no-stop race. It's pretty much something we've seen on this year's game. The last year's game on 21, you could get away without stopping in a full wet race, but at most a good load of tracks. But this year's game doesn't really seem to be an option anywhere for that. Just double check that everybody's definitely on the... Oh! No, not everybody is on the wet side. Some have gone intermediates. So, Chardinho, Gaza, Junkie Emperor have chosen the intermediate tyre. So they think that this track will dry up quickly enough, that they won't lose a pit stop's worth of time, basically. So, it's interesting. That is interesting. Right, they're all lined up on the grid, and the lights should begin. We get a good broadcast cam. That's a good broadcast cam, even though I'm halfway down the grid on the drivers. So here they go. Anyway, 4 or 5 lights on. Out they go. Off we go. As they all get up and running. Can we avoid any incidents? That is a horrendous view. Better. Avoid incidents, guys. So far, so good. So Bartis at the back decides just to hold back a little bit in case, I think. As Gaza drops a little bit. So is that our first sign that maybe the Inters can't keep up? As Gaza drops. Not the only one, though. Fatal's just run off track slightly. No major thing there, he joins just at the back, but right on the back of the pack. X11 making up places. Sorts of batting going on in the early stages of this. Chardinho has dropped to P3 behind Volungis, but he's on the inters and is keeping with Volungis. The early signs are that the intermediates starters may have made a cracking decision. It obviously will depend on whether this track gets wetter or drier, and we are expecting it to dry up, so you would assume it's going to go that way, but will it get wetter first? That's our sort of question. Ooh, Lycorius has a little moment. Now, goodness he didn't lose it, because that could have been chaos at that part of the track, and does well to avoid the rear right there of X11. Oh, it looks like Coxey's had a moment out the final corner, and he's lost his front wing. Whatever you do, don't give up, Coxey. In fact, we've got full track yellows now. I'm sure this is a virtual, but the weather the way it is, Coxey, there could easily be a safety car at some point. See safety cars in Spain quite often, so the fact that well, I guess for wet weather at the moment probably just decreases that chance, likelihood, whatever. So Massey has pulled away a little bit under that virtual safety car. He leads by just over 1.7. Jardinho absolutely holding his own in P3, but Whoopi is right on the back of him. In these conditions, it's overtaken even harder with no DRS to aid you. But to do it the old-fashioned way with a slipstream. Whoopi does go up the inside of Jardinho. Jardinho does finally lose a place, but Jardinho, don't worry too much about it. Don't battle it too much, because it really is looking like the Inter guys have made a great choice here, but they've just got to hold on. So I wouldn't be bothering to battle too much at this point. You'll gain your places when everybody else has to come in for Inters themselves. So not too sure what's going on with the timings there. It says Bartas and Gaz are over a minute down, which clearly they aren't. It's corrected itself now. X11 makes up a place and is now into P9. Coxey has recovered it round to the pits. And Jardinho does lose a couple more places. So, well, is the track getting wetter then? Is it getting wetter? So is this getting harder and harder for the Inter starters? Nobody's given up yet, and Coxey's going to Inters, which is he probably had to do that, really. Monsters and Bartas have a little battle. Monsters comes out top. Oh, Bartas! Oh no, Bartas doesn't run wide. That is a massive lag on my screen. Get me all confused. So let's go to Hunter and Jardinho. So Hunter had the best of starts. It's down to P6. Let's just quickly have a look at position changes. So yeah, you can see there, Lucas is up to 1, Whoopi and Bowden both up 3 places. So Hunter's dropped 2, Jardinho's now dropped 5, but as I say, change to Inters anytime soon. He's quit in really. Massey does set fastest lap of the race on lap 4. Lap 3 even. Hunter, I mean, with DRS that almost certainly would have been an opportunity down into turn 1, but these conditions just could not get there. And we're definitely struggling. None of the guys that started on Inters have given up yet. They are all sticking with it. As Whoopi and Bowden battle for P3. Bowden gets past. One man into a podium position. We have a set to 1 yellow. That appears to be Lycorius, who's down to P17. He's had a spin coming out of 3. That overtake is consolidated by Bowden. And now Hunter on the back of the Gooner. But in turn, Jardinho on those Inters has caught back up to these guys. So again, is that another sign? Is that now telling us that this track is beginning to dry already? Just got to be careful. As the speed starts to come to him, as it becomes the fact that he's on the better tyre, as the Gooner escapes to the pits, and Whoopi already has as well, surely then this is for intermediate tyres. And those guys that started on intermediates are going to be absolutely quitting. As those guys all switch. Let's Vicky and Daguna, 14th and 15th, they are exiting the pits. Chris and Lycorius are pitted behind them, so they will exit in those positions. Maldino's just dropped off the back of Hunter, but I didn't read too much into that. I think that was to do with Daguna coming into the pits. I think Jardino just got caught out a little bit. Down to the Emperor. He's on the back of Gaza. These two both started on the intermediate tyres, so they're just waiting for the pit stops as well. And I think they're still close enough that they will jump the leader. Don't think Massey's gotten away enough. I think Massey will drop down behind these two when he comes in, whenever that will be. I guess at the moment the gap to watch really is Gaza to Monsters. That probably gives us the best information we can hope for at the moment. Oh, I was just about to say any other battles going on, and here is one. This is Whoopi getting past Ronaldo. It's a bit of a mismatch. Whoopi out on the fresh intermediate tyres. And into the pits then, more drivers into the pits. As Hunter though does set fastest lap on the wets. And there's loads in. There's absolutely loads coming in. So Massey has pitted from the lead. He is exiting. And he exits behind Gaza and Junkie Emperor. Those guys that started on the intermediates. What a shape from them. What a shape. It's worked. Has now officially worked. Massey is about 4 seconds off the back of them. And Chardino, without doubt, has gone a massive favourite to win this race now. All over the back of Hunter, trying to get past us. We've got a spin down at turn 1. That is Bartas. And, let's just quickly check on him. Bit of move, Bartas. Disqualified. Parts in a dangerous location where he spun and just didn't move the car, so. Yeah, not sure what that's all about. Not sure you ever do that while you're really taking part in races and taking up a seat. In comes Hunter then. Felungus has come in as well. They're the last to pit, and I think that's probably will hurt them a bit as Chardino goes fastest. And that was without clean air, so presumably he'll go quicker again. Junkie's now gone fastest. And so Chardino leads from Craig now, who's still out on the wets. Gaza up to P3, Junkie up to P4. Massey is in 5, and he is really closing the gap to the guys ahead of him. Already down to 2.8 from 4.1. What's going on? Here's Bowden, who's on the back of Belungus. So Craig, obviously up in P2, is the only driver now left on the wet tyres. And obviously he has a decision to make. Is he going to try and hold out on those tyres until it actually dries up? Now, truth be said, I have tried that a few times and it's failed every time, because as the track gets drier, the inters just get faster and faster, and in the end they just get too fast for the wets. Is what I found before it gets dry enough for slicks. So personally I would say Craig just needs to come in, swallow it, and come in. I guess you will judge that by the drivers around him. I mean, if Gaz is catching him, but he's not like, you know, massively catching him, then Fabinho does go fastest now, 30.0. Still quite a long time off of slicks in terms of actual lap time. Massey goes fastest, then Whoopi immediately after. So, could be a suggestion that is the track drying as they are, quite literally as they are driving round. See these conditions. I think we need dry weather for the for overtakes, really, for us to be able to see some overtakes, because it's just not. I've seen a few, to be fair. It does feel like it's just making it a bit of a stalemate at the moment. Gaza here getting past Craig, and I suspect Junkie is going to follow him straight through. And Craig just needs to accept this sort of thing. He can't battle, so that's Massey on the back as well. He wants to take advantage, but I don't put Craig under too much pressure here. Massey's got to go around the outside, and yeah, he's got. I mean, fair play to Massey there. He's taken a risk, really. I don't know how needed that risk was, but he's taken a risk. But he has made up the 2 places. It's worked out for him. As Chardinho, 29.3, goes fastest again. So Massey up into P3 now, and he get off after Gaza. Obviously, he does have the tyre advantage, of course, as they may all be on Inters, and Inters don't sort of lose their pace quite like the slick tyres do. They do. They will still have an advantage, of course they will. And of course he's got his outright race pace as well, which is always extremely impressive from Massey. Oh, long just had a little touch on the back of Bowden there. So as Bowden was going past. Bowden up to P7. And penalty for Whoopi. That could come back to bite him later in the race. Not a massive penalty track, Spain. It's it's not one of the small ones, but it's not one where you rack up penalties like I don't know, like Canada or something. There he drops further down. I'm sure that's what he's got in mind, is he wants to try and hold out for the slicks, but it's just not going to happen. He will just gradually drop to the back here. It's not. If he looks up in the sky and just saw absolute sun, then maybe you could try it. But see there just how much slower he is. I'm trying to accelerate out of the chicane there, and what he's not doing is he's not on the straights like now. He should be going off the racing line to cool his tyres down. Because he needs to drive through the standing water in order to cool his tyres down. He's giving a bit extra pace, but he's not doing that, and it's making the situation worse for him. He's already down to P10. He takes much longer over the decision to pit. He actually will drop all the way to the back. So I think it's a valiant effort, but he needs to just cut his losses now and pit. So anyway, let's go to Massey on the back of Gaza. We have a battle through the field. You've got the Belungus, Staguna and Hunter as well. That's the thing for Massey. It's as he reaches drivers like Gaza. Gaza is a completely respectable driver. He's got very good pace, and he's exceptional with strategy, as we saw as he was one of the inter-starters. Yeah, overall pace-wise, Massey definitely the quicker of the two drivers, but Gaza experienced in what he's doing. He knows where to put the car, and he won't get flustered, so he'll just keep doing his own thing. I like him to someone in real life, and from liking Gaza to anyone in real life Formula 1 from recent times. And struggling to do it, to be honest. I'm actually thinking Rubens Barrichello, but yeah. Anyway, the fastest lap now from Chardinho, 27.8, so that time is coming down. That is why Craig is suffering so badly on those wets now, because the track is drying. So we're still a little way away from slicks. It is getting close, but I would say that we're still 3 or 4 laps at least away from slicks. Craig has finally given up, and into the pits he comes. It's just going to get worse for him. If he stays out, it was just going to get worse and worse and worse. Let's say, I'm guessing 3 to 4 laps till we change the slicks, and I could be wrong. It could be longer. So, oh, I didn't expect to see that though. Craig's already gone to mediums. He's determined to do this race, never being on the right tyre. They switch to inters when it turns dry. Just the 2 drivers with penalties at the moment, Whoopi in P4 and Chris in P13. It's the gamers then, so if we actually look, Dino's now up 1, obviously. Gaz is up 6, Whoopi up 7, and they are our 2 biggest gainers, even more, but their strategy was exemplary. Other than that, Monsters has just made up a place on X11 as X11 comes into the pits. So Monsters are now at 6. So just put it back to tyres. I presume X11 yet is in for mediums. So he feels it's ready. Just watching Craig's time to Ronaldo, so Craig is losing time, so I think X11's acted a bit hastily there. I think he loses a place to Lycorius, but he's not only, I think, on the wrong tyre at the moment. I won't be able to get any heat into those tyres. It's going to take time. Jardino again goes fastest, 27.1 now. I think we're a little way away. I don't think. No offense to X11, but I definitely don't think he's. Well, he definitely hasn't got that right. He's now he's already 2 seconds behind X11. Sorry, Lycorius. But there's a mass exodus into the pits. 5 drivers are in. Whoopi's put on fresh inters. That's a mistake. No, it just went past here. Still having his hemorrhaging time. I still think they've all gone too early. I really do. Junkie's onto hards. Bowden onto softs. Why has he gone softs? Lots of people into the pits. It's on the crossover. It really is on the crossover. So I said I think they've gone too early. Actually, they probably nailed this. But that is Whoopi getting past Junkie. So that is an intermediate tyre getting past a hard tyre. But there's absolutely no way that Whoopi meant to go to intermediates. That's a mistake. Whether by him or by the game, I don't know. But that is definitely a mistake. Our race leader is in. Jardino off for the inters. Massey in, Gaza in, so all the top guys are following them in now. So I think these guys are now pitting on the correct lap. Mingus in as well. Jardinho to hards. Gazza to hards. Massey to hards. Mingus, haven't seen yet. Yeah, he's to hards. Whoopi is back into the pits as DRS enables. And shouldn't drop down too far. He is going to lose some places, of course he is, but hopefully he can come out and still bag himself a reasonable result tonight. So, no wait, Jardinho leads for 16.5 seconds, just over. Ultimately, as long as he don't do anything wrong, he should be okay today. And we've got Massey P2, Gaza P3. Seems to have dropped some time. And he does have Junkie absolutely flying up. Well, Junkie's done an extra lap, so his tyres are up to temperature. So, Junkie appears to have got a bit of an undercut, so maybe Junkie timed this pit stop just right. I hadn't seen it when he had Whoopi overtaking him. So, Gaz has had some sort of moment. He's definitely there, he hasn't desynced, so that's good. But DRS is enabled. From there, so the runs he's going to get. He's struggling to pick up the slipstream at the moment. Not going to get a chance here, I don't think. Nowhere near close enough, so Bruno sets fastest lap of the race on hards. Foxy on the mediums. Moment. We've got this one. We've got Hunter on the back of Daguna. There's another battle we've got, so actually let's just next to that. Both of the main battles we got on track at the moment are both involving an Aston. Though Whoopi as well, and the other Ferrari is back of X11. I do owe X11 a little apology, don't I? Because he didn't go too early at all. He may have gone the wrong tyre though, because he did go to mediums, so not only pitted early, but he went to mediums, which is probably so they go side by side. He gets it in on the inside. He had to avoid the inside curb, but he's just caught it ever so slightly. There wasn't any contact between the two drivers. Just caught the inside curb, and that's it's a horrible, horrible curb. And that was enough just to spin him round. So recovered it quickly, and he's still P12, and he'll look to work his way through again. Bowden goes fastest. Not sure what happened to Bowden, but he's managed to fall down to P9 in the pit stops. Yeah, so Chris, I'm not sure what penalty he picked up, but he must have had a 5-second because he's served it, it's disappeared. So it must have been a 5-second penalty, so Whoopi now the only driver on track with a penalty at the moment. Back at Foxy already. As he is eating into the lead of Jardinho gradually, but not at a rate that's going to alarm Jardinho at all. Almost spun it round on the final corner. She did well to save that. Teammate close to the back of it. Well, got a little bit of a train actually happening here from X11 and P8 through to Whoopi and P12. Possibly in reaction to Massey closing the gap. So it's fastest lap of the race. Well, certainly need the DRS for overtakes. There is one. Biden gets past X11. For P8. And, some more going on there. What's going on? We'll be having a look at Monsters. And Whoopi is through into P11. And immediately we'll be on the back of Coxie as well. So it just runs a bit wide there. That's well, actually, yeah, he's run a bit wide. That's cost him a place to fatal, and he has ended up round as well. Let's get himself back going again. Let's get back to Whoopi. So he's going around the outside on the new section of the track. Ooh, you might have got a warning there. He's backs off there. I didn't have night notice the last time he was round on the inside of that corner, so waits. Obviously does not have DRS, so if he's with over 40% energy, surely close enough. Get an extra split of energy, and there it is. As the inside of turn 1, and of course we'll just have to fold in behind, just let the overtake, and try to stick with him. So Whoopi up to P10 now. I need to get after X11. Let's go elsewhere then. So still Hunter on the back of the Gooner. Able to find a way past yet, and jumping Velongas close to the back of Gaz as well. So Gaz are holding them off as well at the moment. Since we spoke about the gap between the leaders, still about the same. Don't know if a couple of attempts, I think, but to be fair, I think once all those pit stops had happened, the gap was 16 seconds. There's not a lot massive to do about that. His job then becomes to consolidate P2 for the championship, so that's more important, and that's what he's doing, and that's what he's done by the looks of it. So we're going now to, not quite actually, we've got another lap to do, but we'll be going into the last third of this race. So Whoopi got past Coxie, if you remember. Coxie is holding on to the back of Whoopi as he tries to close in on X11, but X11 seems to have picked up the pace a little bit, and he's not allowing Bowden really to get away. And he's just outside the 1 second, but anything, it seems to be pretty stagnant at the moment, so X11 just seems to have found a bit of pace at the moment. We are 11.5 seconds back from this man. He's driving superbly, I have to say. Today, Hunter. Brilliant qualifying. I'm not sure how he's ended up losing places in the race, because he's not Like, he's not done anything wrong that I'm aware of. Jumping out, went defensive. It's Longus and hold on. Before, at least for the moment. So, Longus can see the red light flashing on the back of Junkie's car, but same situation for Longus. See the back of his car, his light will be flashing as well. As Ronaldo is into the pits. Into those soft tyres. Just keeping an eye where we were before, just to keep an eye on those gaps, but at the moment they're all outside the 1 second of each other, so with this, we've got a set to one yellow. Is that Jardinho? It is. And that's the McLaren of Ronaldo unlapping themselves. Jardinho has spun in turn 3, which means the gap has closed. It's down to about 9 seconds. It's coming down quickly though. I'll give me a better view. Has he got damage? Well, I can't see any obvious signs of damage. But the gap's dropped to 7.6, 7.7 seconds. This could just be... The tyres may have been lit up slightly, so Jardinho may need to drive a little bit slower. So I couldn't quite see Massey in the background, but there he is around the final corner. So they are at least now both on the straight together at the same time. So Gazza looks like he's managed to get away slightly. I don't know if Junkie Emperor made a little mistake there, but or whether he was trying to let his teammate through, but if he was letting his teammate through, he's accidentally let the Ferrari through as well, but I don't think that was the case. I think he may have made a mistake. He was battling with the longest, wasn't he? So Bucky inside of X11 makes the corner nicely. There's plenty of room on the inside for turn 2. Now has the inside of 3. And that is Whoopi up into P9. And that will be the case, I'm afraid, for X11 and Coxey as this race goes on. They are going to find that those medium tyres begin dropping off. Really designed for that many laps as... Oh, I missed it. But Hunter finally gets past the Gooner. Battle of the admins. Yeah, that gap between Jardinho and Massey just seems to have steadied at 7.5, 7.6. So Massey will be saying, just do that one more time, please. So this is Vlungus on the back of Gazza then. It is becoming a sort of solitary battle. X11's still on the back of Whoopi. He's not gone anywhere. And he's still got Coxey on the back of him. So at the moment, Whoopi's got him past, but he's not able to get away. Which is, of course, he needs to do because he's got the penalty. So... Gazza just showing again, just how difficult he is to get past. And I kind of set Gaza multiple leads. He's like this everywhere, and I've raced with him as well. And he's definitely like this guy. The only time in recent times I managed to get an overtake on him was at Japan, where I ran stupidly low rings, just to give me some sort of chance. And yeah, here goes Valungus though. He's got the straight line speed. He's got the energy. He's got the DRS, and surely by turn 1, he's well ahead before the braking zone, so can retake the race in line. And that is Valungus up into P3. Great drive once again from Valungus and Gaza. And Hunter. I'm really struggling at the moment. I'm just having a little think ahead to my driver of the day. And I have to say, there's at least 4 drivers that absolutely deserve it right now. So, at least 4, probably at least 5 actually. So, something needs to happen to make one stand out over the others. At the moment, I'd say Gaza is probably slight favourite to take my driver of the day, just because he was one of the guys that started on the intermediate tyres and got that decision right. He's the only one of the drivers that started on the intermediate tyres that hasn't made a mistake during the race. We know Cialdini's had that spin at turn 3. We know. We don't know, but we're reasonably confident that Junkie Emperor had a spin out the final corner or made some sort of mistake. Oh, as Craig has gone into the pits. Decided perhaps to come in for a set of softs and have a go at the fastest lap, maybe. The Monsters isn't with us. This is in the main menu. I invite him to the game. At the moment, Tessa's just dropped out of the 1 second. 1 yellow. I'll tell you what, I think that was Cialdino again. The gap's suddenly 4 seconds, well, just under 4 seconds. Gunnar and Hunter have both got ahead of Gaza. And straight then, I assume. Oh, yeah, that must have been Cialdino. Oh, this is suddenly getting somewhat closer than it looked like it was going to be. Good save to Cialdino in the chat recently, in general chat, that nobody doubts his pace. He's got fantastic pace as Cialdino. There's absolutely zero doubt about that. Just he is prone to a little spin here and there. Showing that tonight. UK's still got the lead. Massey is close enough now that another mistake from Cialdino and he will lose that lead. So. Right now he's just latest attempt to get him back past Hunter. We've also got one going on down here. Whoopi has pulled away from these two now. Coxie on the back of X11. So I think we've got to go back up to Daguna then, because it's close enough that he should, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes through the final sector. And in fact, Hunter did make a mistake there. He ran a bit wide. So Daguna surely will be close enough as he comes to the straight. Problem here is you always coming out of this. Driver just ahead, always edges away from you when you come out of that chicane. But yeah, definitely close enough this time, Daguna. Does have a little bit less energy, so Hunter does. Oh, they do make contact. It's only an ever so slight contact. I don't think it's caused any damage or anything, so I think that one will just go down to hard racing. But so we have. Oh, Massey picks up a penalty, and I'm pretty sure that's just down to he could suddenly start seeing Cialdino again, and I'm sure that just gave him a bit of a come on, let's go, let's see if we can get him in the remaining laps, so we'll get close enough to have a go. So in doing that, he's just maybe over pushed slightly and picked up 3 seconds. This adds to his woes with a 3-second penalty. Hunter couldn't run back at Daguna on the following lap. With that, just noticed he didn't lose any energy at all there. Hunter saved his energy. As Daguna used his strategy going on. Coxie finally he gets past X11 into the top 10, but I didn't see it come up, I don't think, but he has picked up a penalty at some point, Coxie, so X11 can hold on within that penalty range. You will retake that top 10 at the end, as we've got a sector 1 yellow, and that is Monsters. And Lycorius gets a 10-second penalty. Not sure what that's about. It's no. Oh, next 11 gets back past Coxie. He managed out of that part of the track. I believe I missed that. Oh, Coxie's into the pits. Nobody's come in then. Does he feel his tyres are about to explode? Lose places. It's just a switch to softs. I don't know why he's done that. I mean, the obvious thing to think is that he's going to go for a fastest lap, but he's lost a lot more points by pitting than what he had gained for a fastest lap. As Whoopi gets past Bowden in these late stages, but again, he's got to get out the penalty range, which you would think is going to be nigh on impossible for him. And how have these guys gone? So he's just been trying to save that energy, but he doesn't. If I'm honest, he's not close enough. Look how close it's getting now. You didn't have to get close. Oh, is that Bowden? It is, that's Bowden on the final corner, which will allow Whoopi, of course, to get away. It's also allowed X11 up into P9. And if he hadn't have pitted, that would have allowed Coxie up into P10. So, in a way, let's go to our race leader, and soon to be race winner. If the AlphaTauri don't fancy doing another lap, it doesn't. He eases off. And Chardinho crosses the line and wins in Spain. Massey finishes P2. Very, very good drive from Massey. What happened there? Donkey Emperor's ended up round. Belungus has ended up in a wall. So the Gooners ended up with the podium. Hunter P4. Gaza P5. Whoopi 6. Junkie goes ahead of Whoopi due to the penalty. So Junkie up to 6. Whoopi 7. X11 in 8. Bowden 9. Fatal Defiance. And what a result. P10. After the spin at the start as well, so suddenly throws us out in for driver of the day as well. Chris P11, Monsters is going to finish P12, and so Coxie will come home in P13. He's had a spin at the moment, but he will eventually come home in P13. I've got absolutely no idea what happened at the end there, but I just suddenly saw Volungus end up going into a wall as Coxie spins it round again. Going by that, I would say he's probably lit his tyres up. Soft tyres don't take much to do it if he's ended up in the gravel at some point. Go to the pit lane, don't blame him. Well, there you go. So, that's the end of the Spanish Grand Prix for HRF1. See if I can get the guys in. I don't know what's happened at the end, to be quite honest with you, so... So I'm not going to watch that, sorry, Chardinho, but I'm fed up of watching Podium dancing now. So, fastest lap, by the way, to Massey in the end. Just took that by half a tenth over Chardinho. Let's see. Oh, no. I'll tell you what, guys. In fact, no. Massey, Daguna, I'm not going to do podium interviews, guys. So, I've still got a massive cold, and I can't speak to Chardinho anyway because he's on PlayStation, so I'm not going to do the podium interviews tonight, I'm afraid. In a way, we were down, where were we? So Volungus will be classified as P14, so I've no idea what's happened at the end for him. I did see him end up in a wall, but I didn't see whether it was a contact or his own mistake. So Craig P15, Lycorius 16, Ronaldo in P17, Bartas DNF'd early in the race. DSQ'd actually. Not sure why he bothered turning up, to be quite honest. Incidents. Let's quickly just scroll through. There we go. There's our incidents. So that's our Spanish Grand Prix round 6 of the season. The points go to Chardinho and Haas, but Massey, in terms of the championship, Massey's kept the damage limitation down with a superb drive. My driver of the day today goes to Hunter. Yeah, it's probably between Hunter and Gaza. But I'm going to go for Hunter. His pace has impressed me tonight, so I'm going with Hunter tonight. But fair play to those guys that opted to start on the inters at the start. That was what a shout that was, guys. Fair play to all of you that went for that. But yeah, many of you brave souls that did that, but fair play to you. Anyway, guys, that's it for Sunday night from Hilly. So thank you to all of you that watched my streams tonight, and thank you to everybody that watched them back at a later point. I really appreciate it. Sorry I'm not doing a podium interviews, but I am still full of cold. I just kind of want to finish. So, but we'll get back to doing that next week. As always, guys, a massive thank you to all of you. I will be back tomorrow night for Division 4 in GLR, GRL even, GRL. So please come and join me for that. Great views last week in GRL, and hopefully the racing will be great this week. So please come and watch that one with me and see how we get on. Other than that, I'll be back on Tuesday as well for WAOF1. Don't forget that one. As always, at 8 o'clock. Always a great race. So come and join me for that. Yeah, good night, God bless, enjoy the tiny little bit that's left of your weekend, but stay safe from work, guys. Good night.